United is playing Aston Villa. Okay, to check the statistics, Man United has not lost on Boxing Day since 1978. That's an interesting stat, but they come against an Aston Villa side that is actually 1 point off the top. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally at the final lap of the English Premier League season. It's been one heck of a season actually for very many teams that are inside there that have not been competing, the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, and then finally Liverpool that actually fell off the park. I think you guys should go back and focus on yourselves and get ready for some good football next season. Welcome to yet another episode of Mr. Vamos Dissects. Mr. Vamos, as usual, here to give you the latest in what is trending in the Premier League this time around. And today's episode will be brief and precise. It's basically going to be telling us about Arsenal taking on Everton, Man City hosting West Ham. As you can all tell that the Premier League goes down to the wire between these two teams. Well, Man City is on top of the table by 2 points. And then, of course, Arsenal. Well, like I said, there's a lot to say about the Premier League this season, and there's a lot to talk about these two games. But I want to make this very brief because very many of us are just waiting to see who celebrates. Will it be the red corner? Will it be the side from London? Or will it be the side from Manchester? Well, just to give you a preview of what happened before, Arsenal took on Man United at the Old Trafford. And well, just like a team that wants to be champions, they managed to get a vital 3 points at Old Trafford. Well, of course, very many people were expecting Man United to be washed 5 or 6 or something. But at the end of the day, the result is what matters. And Arsenal actually put in a nice goal inside there. Beautiful work goal from Leandro Trossard with a nice cutback from what's that bad man called again? With a nice cutback from Kai Havertz. I don't know why I forget this bad man. He actually didn't start the season well, but he's been recuperating as the season has been going. So pretty nice 3 points for them. And then Man City took on Spurs. Very many of us thought that Spurs was actually going to determine this title race because it had Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City. Long story short, Spurs has been washed in all those games. Yeah. The main highlight that happened in the Spurs game against Man City was, of course, Ederson got injured. He got a collision with Romero. And then second choice keeper Moreno came through. Well, Ortega Moreno came through and he made, I think, the save that if at all Man City goes on to win this trophy, that will be the save that wins them the trophy. Heung-min Son is actually on a one-on-one through on goal. Akanji has already made a mistake. And the whole world is watching him. Just reminds you of Argentina versus France when Kolo Muani actually looked at Dibu and the rest was history. Dibu actually made a save with his leg. And the World Cup was actually gone. So if Man City actually goes on to win that game against West Ham, then that will be the save that wins them the trophy. Those guys should actually prepare his flowers. I was going to say they should actually prepare for him a statue, but I'd probably say Banchi Susanyo, it will be too much. So just to get into these two games, Arsenal takes on Everton. Arsenal has been watching Everton at the Emirates from since I can remember. Everton is not in the drop anymore. Very many weeks ago when Everton was in the drop, I figured my instincts were telling me that Everton is actually going to come to the Emirates and give Arsenal a run for their money. But I don't think this is going to happen this time around. Everyone in the Arsenal camp is actually focused on seeing that they ensure that they secure their points and wait to see the results that happens at the Etihad Stadium. So I'll start by giving you guys my result for this game. I think Arsenal sweeps Everton on Sunday. Just so you guys do not forget that all the games on Sunday at 6 p.m. we don't want any match fixing of any sort or anything. So all you guys should keep your fingers crossed on those ones. So Arsenal takes on Everton for me and washes them. Minimum at least should be 3 goals. Maybe Everton comes through and does a goal inside there. You never know what happens. But just to back up what I was telling a few people here on the channel before, I think Thomas Partey is my guy. He's an African and I be feeling him. But I was telling people the last time that he normally gets a brain drain when he's playing games. And just that Man United couldn't capitalize on some of the errors that he was making on there. But I think a game like the one tomorrow needs, maybe if Thomas Partey is actually ready to start that game, then he should be laser focused on ensuring that he does all the sweep. Because of course they have Badman Declan Rice, the best CDM in the league that's going to cover all the spaces. So I don't need to enter into a lot of dynamics inside here, but I think Arsenal takes this one on for me because they have the best defense in the league. Of course, David Ray actually got his golden glove towards the course of the week. And of course, it's the beautiful team photo that you'll be seeing with the rest of the team celebrating how rock solid they have been. And I don't see how Everton takes this one away from me. Their strikers have been fluffing their lines a lot. Calvert-Lewin has been on and off. Badman Beto that was signed from Udinese as a record fee, 17 million, has not actually been delivering the goods. So Arsenal takes this one for me. Man City takes on West Ham United. Well, this is London versus Manchester. And of course, there's been a lot of rounds going on social media. Of course, on Twitter, there's very many people back in West Ham. Of course, there's Arsenal guys that are saying friends of West Ham since over 1998. Some of you guys were not even born, but then you're recording to that. Well, if we're to get into this fixture, I think just like we've been seeing over the past few seasons, when Man City begins a run of games that it's taking on with wins, it doesn't seem to stop. And then when they face West Ham I think will actually be a more tricky opposition than Tottenham Hotspur. Because it's been of course, I was actually checking through the tabloids on here, and well, Mohamed Kudus actually came through and said it'd be nice to watch his compatriot Thomas Partey winning the league. So probably Thomas Partey must be texting Mohamed Kudus and he's like, man, just do that dirty work for us, do the justice for us. Of course, Man City went on to lose Nathan Ake during the week against Spurs. He's actually been rock solid for them at the back. But of course, Pep Guardiola has built a pack of players that will definitely come and deputize each other inside there. And important to notice, the guy that's playing their number 3, Gavadio, if that's a pronunciation of his name, he's actually scored an impressive, I think that's 5 goals in 7 games. For a defender that didn't play most part of the season, he's actually been giving very many defenders a run for their money, and yet he's actually a defender. Well, I think Erling Haaland is going to cement his golden boot on Sunday. I'm most definitely backing him up to score a goal against West Ham United. Of course, the West Ham defense is actually shaky. You can't really trust those West Ham defenders to secure for you points inside there. And then, of course, David Moyes, I think one of the things that Arsenal guys will be relying on is the fact that David Moyes bows out. I think David Moyes' last game for West Ham will be against Man City, and then of course the players will be wanting to give their boss a nice final 90 minutes. So I think if I was to give you guys a prediction, I think Man City takes this one away for me. But just like I said, this is of course there's going to be a lot of luck inside this final game week, and still things can still change. There's going to be a lot of scenarios that happen inside here. Let's take a scenario. Man City goes on to draw. Man City goes on to draw on Sunday. And then Arsenal, let's say Arsenal somewhat also makes a draw inside there. Or maybe Arsenal goes on to win and then Man City draws. They'll be 11 points. But the difference here will be that Man City failed to capitalize on the advantage of the teams that they were playing against, and then Arsenal still wins them by a goal difference of 2. So just in case Man City draws and Arsenal wins, then I think it's going to be Forza Arsenal, Vamos Arsenal. All the slogans that are going to be used across Europe will be for Arsenal. But then for all the teams to be secure, I think everyone needs to win their games. Everyone keeps saying, so, man, well, personally, if you were to ask me who I'm rooting for to win the trophy, I would most definitely be telling you guys now that let the best man win the trophy, right? Because of course, I'm thinking Man City still has some games to play. Man City takes on Man United on the 25th of May in the FA Cup final. So they'll probably be wanting to win another trophy inside there. But let them start with first things first in that one, and we see. And then, of course, today I'm donning Leicester City because Leicester City secured promotion back to the Premier League. Immediately they went to the Championship. They are back into the Premier League. And then, of course, Leeds United went on to win their game the other day. And they'll be facing Southampton in the final playoff that sees who comes back to the Premier League. These are two sides that actually left the Premier League the last season, and they're probably vying to get back into the league. So we'll wait and see who comes back into that one. Otherwise, I would like to inform everyone that we'll be watching games on Sunday, that I think you need to have like a heart monitor or something, because tensions are going to be high on Sunday. And very many guys I'd like very many guys to go and watch these games from Achibanda, because it's going to be like a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of bass and sound and everything. If you don't have nerves and steel, you might not handle. But may the best man win the Premier League, Arsenal and Man City whoever wins the Premier League will be rooting for whoever wins, because at the end of the day, all these two teams have played brilliant football this season. And of course, none of us is going to come through and say that there's another team that played more better football than this. Of course, Arsenal dominating the part of 2024. Aside from that, it's been nice coming back on set. May the best man win the Premier League. We go again. Vamos.